Hey guys, Kalltorak here. Today, I am bringing you my first major update for Thorns Warbringer. It is going very well. I have cleared all of the Pinnacle content on base difficulty. I've cleared Arbiter on +0, Delirium on +0, Expedition on +1, Breach on +2, and Ritual on +3. All the footage you are seeing here is Waystone level 15s and 16s with +4 map boss difficulty. As you can see here, Thorns works, and you can clear most of the game's content with it for sure. This isn't fully min-maxed at all, so it can definitely go a bit further. There are quite a few major changes from my last video, so let's dive in. I have updated the Mobalytics link. There is a bleed variation tab. Click on that to see all of the updates. Currently, I am at 1,844 to 7,454 Thorns damage unbuffed, with a 94% critical hit chance. This is a huge jump from my last video, heck, from this morning. Seriously, my damage doubled today? To get my crit this high, we have changed to the Anoint Heart Stopping for extra critical hit chance. We are also now using Exile Acuity. This provides a massive amount of critical hit chance, but what's most important here is Leech from critical hits is instant. In the old tree, we were investing a lot into Leech. With these gloves, I was able to drop a majority of the Leech nodes, including Goring, which was reducing my maximum life, while still keeping the overall value of Leech. With a 94% chance to crit, a majority of my damage will be causing Leech. This freed up my passives to put into things like Prism Guard, increasing my max elemental res, and Relentless Vindicator, increasing my damage and critical hit chance. I was able to redesign a lot of the build around Exile Acuity, and it feels great. The other massive jump in my damage is coming from a new buff in the patch that just went out today. Rune of Tithing has now been buffed. In the last patch, it was 1 to 10 Lightning Thorns damage, but now it's 1 to 100. This was very big for my damage. It's pretty funny how good the new runes are. I tested them on my level 1 Smith of Katava, and yeah, I was one-shotting bosses. Probably a fun leveling montage coming soon of me one-shotting bosses. I doubled my Thorns damage today by re-itemizing around sockets. Every single piece of gear I have is now using 2 sockets, except my chest piece. In my chest slot, I am now using Moriors. With 5 sockets, max life, elemental, and stun threshold per socket rolls, I have increased not only my damage, but also gained a lot of resistance, allowing me to put more runes of tithing into my gear. At max scavenge plating stacks, I have over 14,000 Thorns damage right now. This is without a +3 Prism of Belief for scavenge plating, and without Chernobog. This shield is insane, and probably our best option by far. This will be a massive gain in damage, but it is very expensive. Our most expensive chase piece. In my last video, you never saw me using Rake, but Rake is amazing for mapping. Doesn't matter if you go bleed version or not, the mobility it provides while mapping is amazing. Use Rake while mapping now, and then swap to Rapid Assault for bossing. Note, all of my skill gems are at their lowest possible level except for scavenge plating. You do not need to level up the skill gem level of Rake and Rapid Assault. Herald of Blood is pretty cool, and we weren't getting much out of our extra spirit gems before. For bleed, I'm feeling pretty okay about it right now. It definitely helps for mapping. The clear is nice. It's a DPS increase for bosses too, but seems minor. It took minimal investment to bring bleed online, only 6 passive points, 1 jewel, and our weapon to enable the bleed build. The style is fun and very exciting to watch. I am just not sure it's the best way to play Warbringer. There are a few more spears and styles I want to try. It's possible the bleed build is best, but definitely more to explore here. I want to try out companions at some point as well, but not there yet. My defenses are a lot better now. I still die, but it's not near as much. It's possible I need to exchange some of my tithing runes for some max life runes. The increase to max res definitely helped, and always critting makes my leech just feel insane. Blade Catcher seems to have helped with some random one-shots. The game desperately needs Death Recap, though. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly what killed me. A lot of these problems get solved in time, though. Don't let this deter you from trying Thorns. This build is great, and I will definitely be killing +4 Arbiter with it soon. Okay, let's talk about the update. Now, I just want to go ahead and preface this that the patch just dropped that changed how stun threshold works and changed the Rune of Tithing. So I've literally only had a few hours to think on this stuff. A lot of this is just like quick on the fly changes. There's probably an update coming that will be more in depth. Might be a transition away from bleed, might be a transition deeper in the bleed, who knows. But there will be at least one more update from here, because I'm sure this is not min-maxed perfectly. But yeah, things are going great. Again, res cap, I'm at 75 lightning, which is one short of what I should be, because I could get up to 76. I'm at 76 cold, and then I'm at 78 fire right now. 60% armor with 75% block, and then 25, 67 life. What's most exciting for people, of course, is the Thorns damage. It is really high up right now, and we've gotten a very big boost from the Lightning Thorns. The new 1 to 100 tithings is just great. And then, of course, the 94% critical hit chance is awesome, too. At one point, I was at 100% critical hit chance, but that has gone down a little bit. But yeah, it is feeling really good. Let's talk about the runes real quick. So I am running a 5-link in Rake. This is not required. If you are going to do a 4-link, what you will do is you will have, again, this is a level 6 gem and then level 6 gem. So both are level 6. So in Rake, you are going to put in Barbs, Quill Burst, Unabating, and Stomping Ground. Okay? And then for bossing, you're going to swap Unabating, Quill Burst, and Barbs to Rapid Assault. This allows you to boss very well, and then the Rake is just much better for the mapping. It's not fun ever swapping skill gems. But trust me, it is worth it. Now, if you do go for the 6-week link in Rake, which you do not need, you just add martial tempo, so you're just a little bit faster with your attacks. It's super nice on the map. My Scavenge Plating is level 24 right now. It is a level 20 skill gem, corrupted to level 21, with plus 21 with Physical Mastery, getting it to 22, and then I did get a Scavenge Plating plus 2 levels, Prison of Belief. Not plus 3, which is the best, but hey, we're closer to it, so... Herald of Blood, it's just our other spirit gem right now. In it I have Precision, Hemocrystals, and Magnified Effect. Precision was just to get more accuracy, and then of course the Hemocrystals is nice, and then a Magnified Effect for the bigger explosions. Shield Charge is the same with Ingenuity, level 3. Disengage is at level 6 with Shocking Leap into it. Not really using Disengage much anymore, and I don't need the Shock as much now that I got Lightning Shocking. Right now I'm using Seismic Cry. I do need to get this at a lower level. This should be, level 19 is just too much on the mana. As you can see, it just burns my mana quite a bit. But right now I'm using Seismic Cry to do my armor break. So before I was having to constantly swap a gem for the armor break between Rake and Rapid Assault. But with the Batter Shout support gem, your shouts now remove the armor break. So on the bossing, you will break the armor, and then when you need more Scavenge Plating shouts, stacks, you will Seismic Cry. It'll remove their armor break and allow you to break it again. I don't actually use Resonating Shield right now, so ignore that. And then Blood Hunt, it's just another mobility option. It consumes the blood loss and does some AoE and stuff. It's mainly just a mobility option. I don't use it much right now. The main thing I'm using is just, again, it's just a lot of Rake spam for mapping. And then on bossing, it is Rapid Assault. Alright, let's talk about the gear. This is where a lot of changes are happening. So right now, we are using Scytha Spear. I don't really care what spear you're using. More than likely, you're going to want the skill speed runes in there. The Greater Rune of Alacrity. 2 of these is 16% skill speed. You get the 2 sockets in it, and it just makes you go a lot faster. We're also playing another style with our Atlas passives that just adds a lot more to our speed, so this all is super nice. But aside the spear, I am using it for the bleed build right now. There are a lot of spears to try unique-wise, but for the bleed build, this one just has a chance to aggregate bleeding on hit. And for bossing, whenever you're spamming Rapid Assault, you're going to be aggravating bleeding. So that's what it's for, is just the aggravate bleeding on hit. So in all of my pieces, I have, right in my helmet, I've got 2 Great Rune of Tithings. Shield is 1. I had to get 1 lightning res for, to get cap. 2 tithings here, 5 tithings here, another lightning res here, and then a tithing here. Obviously, if you could get tithings into every single socket, that is just a massive DPS increase. So, yep, still same helmet. In my necklace, it is strength, max life, crit hit chance, crit damage bonus. If you can get an armor roll on it, that would be nice too, or some reses. But really, it's just, you want as much maximum life as you can. On all of your pieces right now, you should be looking for strength and maximum life. And then, of course, on the necklace, we want crit hit chance and crit damage bonus. If you don't care about maximizing your damage as much as possible, you can go back to the anvil, go back to up to 80% block chance to be tankier. I'm feeling pretty tanky right now. Not unkillable, but I feel pretty good. So I went with the damage. And, of course, heart stopping is 10 intellect and 25 critical hit chance. We need that intellect, of course, to help us wear the Warriors. As you can see here, I'm barely at 51 intellect, and that's what it takes to wear this. In my shield, it's the same shield I had before, just res, and then the runes for the tithing. Ring, it is strength, max life, accuracy, elemental res, chaos res, and just filling out my stats. Still using the same ring from before, gifts from aboves, chaos res, elemental res, and the crit hit chance. Boots, different boots, slightly lower critical hit chance. I was at the earlier today. Let me see if I still have the boots, because I might still be able to show you guys. Like earlier today, I was at 100% critical hit chance. No. Let's see if I can find them for you guys. Is it this pair? Yeah, it's this pair. So this pair had me at 100% critical hit chance with Thorns, as you can see, 94.55 to 100%. But as you can see here, just losing the 1 socket puts me down 400 Thorns damage. So, is that 6% Thorns crit damage worth more, or is that 1 extra socket worth more? I'm not sure here. I'm going with the 2 sockets for now. These are all things that need to test, but you can see the value of that 1 socket does. But yeah, at one point I was at 100% critical hit chance, but swapped the boots out for 2 sockets. This is the belt I've had since level 60. I got really lucky with this early on, and it has carried me the whole way. Big armor roll, max life roll, 2 reses, stun threshold, Thorns damage. I mean, it's hard to get a better belt than this. If you could get one with more charms, maybe, sure. But this belt is this, and then it's Ears Acuity. Get as high as a critical hit chance on it as you can, and then get 2 sockets. And then lastly, more yours. So this was a DPS increase over my rare chest that had really good rolls on it. I don't know what best rolls to go for yet. Maybe it would be max life, elemental res, and then all attributes. Right now, I just bought this one. It was cheap. It was a cheap 5 link. I got it for 2 divines. It had max life rolls, stun threshold, and elemental resistances. The 2 most important ones are going to be max life and elemental reses. This just increases your survivability by a lot. And without these elemental res rolls specifically, I would have to be using elemental res runes into all of my rune sockets. So make sure you get +7 to all elemental reses on your Moriors, and really, you want a 5 link. If you're not going for the 5 link Moriors, don't bother. Just stick with the rare chest probably. It'll do you well enough until you can afford a 5 link Moriors. And it's probably worth it. I don't know if this is like the perma-bis setup or not, but 5 sockets, like with the 1 to 100 lightning Thorns damage, it's just too good. Okay, so I do want to talk about one thing before we go into the actual passive tree. I want to talk about Atlas passives. No, I'm not an Atlas passive master. Ignore most of this. I copied this from someone on YouTube. I forget who. It might have been Fubgum. I don't remember. But what I want to talk about more importantly is shrines. So I've tried a lot of different stuff. You can farm whatever style you want. If you want to go Rogue Exiles or whatever you want, do it. But I really like the shrine stuff for Thorns. It helps with the survivability a lot. You're seeing a lot more shrines. Shrines are sometimes giving you 2 buffs. The movement speed, attack speed shrine is the best shrine we can get. It lets you fly through the map. You're constantly raking. It is awesome. And then, of course, I went with the Seeking Shrines here to get extra rarity. I don't have any rarity on my gear right now, so with the chance of like getting 2 buffs or seeing shrines more, I'm getting extra rarity from here. But I do want to emphasize that I am very much liking the shrine aspect of the Atlas passive tree. It helps a lot with Thorns. Sometimes you'll see 3 shrines in a map. You'll end up getting like 2 buffs from some of them, and it just when you're talking about speed clearing and going through the maps as fast as possible and not wanting to be worried about dying and losing your experience, the shrines are more important than anything else. If you're like after essences or like wanting to do the wisp or are enjoying rogue exiles, go for that. But if you're purely looking to just min-max the gameplay of Thorns, I cannot recommend doing a shrine setup like this. The buffs just help so much for the playstyle. Alright, so let's go to the passive tree. So for right now, I am still trying out Jade Heritage. You don't lose the stacks very fast. Despite getting hit a lot, you would expect you to lose all 10 stacks instantly. I assume GGG put some like stack loss prevention in there, so you can only lose like 1 stack a second or something. But you end up having the 10% physical damage reduction from this for a large amount of the map. Like, it's just really good. Now, if you want to change this out, now that we are using cries, it is possible that Warcaller's Bellow is the better style for mapping. Using your war cries to explore corpses, them doing 25% of their life as physical damage, it just might be a good addition to clearing on maps, especially if you're not playing the Herald of Blood bleed style for the extra clear. I'm not 100% sure on this part yet. I need to test more with the war cries dealing life explosion on the corpses. But this could be really good. Do not sleep on this. You might very well be seeing an update in the future of me using this over Jade Heritage. Not sure yet. Right now, again, I'm just trying to survive one shot. So, here's the path here, and it is very different looking than the last video. Again, I was like all down here, getting this stuff. Like, there was just so much passives in this point, and now there is nothing. I know a lot of people are going to ask this question, and they're probably going to ask it before they get to this point in the video, but I'm just going to say it now anyway. I do not know if you can level this way. I leveled a very different passive path and did very different style for leveling. If you were to try leveling to this, I don't know if it would go well. I recommend swapping to it at 85 plus until I've actually tried re-leveling with this setup. Alright, so path through here, we're just getting the armor stuff, but we wanted to mainly path through here to get this block stuff. It's just extra block nodes we can get on the way down here, and then this is where we get our first fork. We come down here, we still want Vengeance. This is required, 10% of your damage leech as a life for your Thorns damage. We still get Cruel Methods, and we still get Laze Siege for the block chance and the extra damage. Here is the only passives we invest into for Bleed. We get these 3 points, we get the hit bleed chance here, and then Bloodletting, and then we get Ailment chance and Exposed Wounds. This is a majority of our bleed hit chance here. I don't know if I don't know what bleed hit chance of my Thorns is at. It doesn't update the tooltip to tell me. The other bleed hit chance I have is I have 7% on 1 jewel. So a majority of my bleed hit chance is just coming from these passes right here. No idea what I'm at bleed hit chance wise, but yeah. So after we get those, we path down through here. I path through here instead of pathing up through here to get Unstoppable Barrier and these block stuff. It might be a different route later, but right now I am trying Blade Catcher, defend with 200% of armor against critical hits, and then pathing through here, you just get a lot more strength. I'm at 270 strength. Again, I'm just trying to get as much max life as possible. Path through here for Vigilance. This is mainly just for the block chance. Unbending is more max life, and then Stun Threshold. I don't know how important Stun Threshold is anymore. I was trying to solve Stun Threshold a lot before the patch. In the patch that went today, they adjusted light stuns from mobs in high-end maps, and that was the biggest problem I was having, was just getting chain light stunned, and yeah, so maybe Stun Threshold is less important, but this node specifically gives you 3% max life. Still taking the Thorns damage nodes here. Still taking Battle Fever. We path up here. These are where new things are. I did need this 1 block node to get to 75% block chance. I did take Prism Guard, 1 on maximum elemental res, and then +5 to all elemental res. Right now, I'm just pathing from the maximum fire res location. Whatever elemental res you feel like you're dying more, you can take. We've pathed to this spot from 3 different locations. You know, you could take the lightning res stuff. I'm not sure. Actually, I should be able to do this. This is actually probably a better setup, huh? Actually, I probably want this in cold res for now. But you can do something like this. It'll get you +2 to lightning res and then +2 to fire max res. So I'm not fully at my lightning res cap right now, but if I had 3 more points, this would be at 78, right? So this is probably a smarter path here, is it gets you just a little bit more max res. Hey, this is where I show how I'm a newbie at build creating, right? There's these micro adjustments with pathing and stuff that I still have to learn how to navigate better. But yeah, there's no reason to put those 2 points there when you can put them there. But yeah, we get the maximum res increase. I feel like I'm dying to elemental res a lot, so that's why I'm doing this. I don't know what's actually killing me because there's no death recaps, but I believe it's elemental res. And then this is the only other leech nodes we need. These are the most bang for your bucks for as few passive as possible. These are all 15% increased amount of life leech, and then this one's 35, and it makes you life leech slower, but since we're life leeching instantly because of our gloves, we don't have the downside here. So these 4 points are most bang for our bucks mixed with these 3 here. Still path up here, get offensive stance, get wide barrier. Revenge is a 100 thorns damage right now, I believe. Let me go ahead and take it off. Yeah, Revenge is 100 thorns damage right now. So, because my Warriors doesn't have much armor, right? It's just a Warriors. It's not like a heavy armor thing. So, it's possible that I eventually drop this 1 point here and put it someplace else. I don't know. But it's 100 thorns damage. It seems okay for now. And then we path up this way. We still get the crit stuff. We still get all this crit stuff. We get this. We don't care about the mana back. It's just for the block chance here. But Relentless Vindicator, it's 10% increased damage, and then it's 10% increased critical hit chance with 5 strength, 5 int. That's the route right now. I have not tested this stuff yet. Some people are telling me that this stuff does scale with Quill Burst. And there's a spear called Tyranny's something. What's it called? I have it in my Thorn tab. Tyranny's Grip. They're saying that the splash from this works with Quill Burst and Barbs, and the AoE could scale off of that. I haven't tested that yet. That's where I'm saying like maybe Bleed becomes obsolete if I eventually take all of these nodes and then go all the way up to here for critical chance to get more easy critical chance stuff. That stuff all might be added. I think I've talked about everything I want to. Again, guys, I'm new to build making. I'm new to this whole crafting stuff. Just keep leaving your feedback down below. Each patch or each build that I make, each update I make, I'm trying to like create a checklist of things that I'm supposed to be including in these builds and stuff. And then hopefully, you know, by the time we're in 1.0 or whatever, I've got a better understanding of what PoE viewers like you are expecting from a creator like me. Because yeah, from so far it's just been kind of me just doing my own thing. But you know, I want to produce the content in a way that is best for you to consume, and I'm not missing out on key critical bits, whether that's what jewels I'm missing or, you know, stuff like that. Please keep leaving your positive feedback down below, what you want to see from my guides and whatnot. But yeah, this is where Thorns Warbringer is at, and there are more updates coming. Alright, that's the build. We aren't done with Thorns yet. There is at least one more update coming for the Warbringer, as well as Thorns build for other ascendancies such as Lich, Stormweaver, Smith, and more. If you are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Apologies to Darth Microtransaction, we once again ran out of time. Take care, boys. See ya in the next one.